All right, hey, what's up, everybody? I'm Mike Lindsley, back with you. 9 minutes with me here on Facebook, YouTube, and IGTV. I am sitting here at Rosie's Corner. The place is fantastic. Pizza, wings, hot and cold subs, you name it. You can get it all here at Rosie's Corner. Gift cards are always available, and they are available on Grubhub as well. Make sure if you're in and around the Central New York area, you get here to Rosie's Corner. It's going to be a phenomenal spring and summer with their ice cream stand open and all the events that they do as well. So get down here to Rosie's Corner. I wanted to dive deep into the Tampa Bay Lightning losing in the first round of the playoffs. This is just mesmerizing stuff. I mean, you know, you kind of walked into this series, and I have a couple of really close friends of mine who are diehard Tampa Bay Lightning fans. I mean, they are diehards. They love the team. They have for a long time. And they were nervous going into the series because of past failures, but also the matchup was very difficult. You know, you're playing a Columbus team that was chugging, a team that, almost got 100 points this year. They had to win a bunch of games to get in. And also, if you think about it, the trade deadline, their general manager should be really applauded because they could have easily sold the farm and traded everybody away. Instead, they added pieces. They could have tried to trade Panarin. They could have tried to trade Bobrovsky between the pipes. They didn't do that. And, you know, they ended up adding some people. And Duchesne was just a great addition. They've made some major strides, you know, in the last 5-6 weeks in terms of developing and adding, you know, different elements to the game as well. And this is just an incredible thing here with Tampa, a team that, get this, they had 3 40-goal scorers this year. They had the best goaltender in the league. They had the best player in the league this year in Nikita Kucherov. That goalie, of course, Vasilevsky. You're talking about a team, and I was stunned to hear this, about Neil Greenberg said this on the Tony Kornheiser podcast, and I was blown away by it. He said, well, look, Tampa Bay has a lot of frontline big-time guys. They don't have a lot after that. They don't have a lot of depth. And I'm going, what? Do you cover the sport? Do you actually watch and understand the games? Are you kidding me? This team is built on depth. This team is built on depth, balance, versatility, and up the middle with two-way centermen and defense. There's another area of strength. Victor Hedman was one of the best defensemen in the game. You know, and then you look at the goaltending. I mean, they're built the right way, or so you would think. And then they get into the playoffs, and it's a completely different team. Remember how the Washington Capitals used to be? They used to be a juggernaut and a wagon year after year after year. And then they get to the postseason, and they're a totally different team. They can't get out of their own way. They're messing things up. They're turning the puck over. They're horrible on special teams. All of that shit happened to Tampa Bay against Columbus. This has just been a really brutal stretch of disappointment for the Tampa Bay Lightning. And as they say in sports, the window is open for how long? I don't have the answer to that. And if I'm a Lightning fan, I can't even look at next year and go, well, hey, look at the bright side. Matthew Joseph's back, Cirelli's back, Kucherov's back. We have depth, we have balance, we got the goal. I can't even think that way. Because you just won 62 games out of 82 games. They play 82 games in a regular season in the NHL, and they won 62 of them. I mean, it's mind-blowing how dominating this team was during the regular season. And then for the first round, they get bombed. And that was the other thing, too. They didn't lose in 6. They didn't lose in 7. They got swept. They got their cans kicked in. And you know when the big game changer was? The game changer was game 1. Because Tampa had an opportunity, up 3-0, to shut the door, win that game, and maybe the whole series is totally different. But what happened was they gave up that lead. They end up losing game 1. And then everything starts to creep right here, right between the eyes again. Well, here we go again with the Lightning. Here comes the failure again. Here comes this and that. We can't get out of our own way. We're turning the puck over. All that stuff creeps back into your head. The worst possible situation for that team was to lose game 1 when they were up 3-0. So, this is just a devastating loss for Tampa Bay. I don't know where you go from here. I mean, do you remove John Cooper as head coach? Do you need somebody in there with a little bit more fire. Many people feel, who I've talked to, and my friends even feel this way, who are Lightning fans, my man Westbrook Shortell and Charlie Frisch, that John Cooper, maybe he's just not a playoff coach. And, that might be the case. Tampa looks like the new Washington with their struggles in the playoffs after dominating regular season after regular season. They look like the Washington Nationals in baseball. I don't know what the hell is. San Jose Sharks have done it for years, and the NHL as well. I don't understand what the deal is with teams that look so good, so dominant, and then just totally shit the bed in the playoffs. It really doesn't make a ton of sense. And, when you look at this team, Nikita Kucherov, Steven Stamkos, Tyler Johnson, Braden Point, Sorelli, Joseph, Callahan, Hedman. I mean, you look at all those monster names. You look at all those players, big-time scorers and two-way centermen and depth and balance and versatility and, arguably the top goalie, defenseman, and forward in the game. I just don't understand how this can happen and how they got swept. And I don't have, if I'm crystal balling the Tampa Bay Lightning, I can't give you anything if you're a Lightning fan. I can't give you anything to feel good about. I can't do it because your team has been knocking on the proverbial door for the Stanley Cup the last few years here recently, the last several years, and they just cannot get it done. They can't get to the end of the finish line, the end of the line. They can't get to the finish line. They can't get over the hump. They just can't do it. And I'm not quite sure when or if it's going to happen at all at this point. I just don't know. I can't give you anything if you're a Lightning fan. I can't give you next year. I can't give you, well, hey, you had a great regular season. When you win 62 regular season games, you can't say, you had a great regular season, so, hey, we're playing with house money. You can't say that. If you squeaked into the playoffs, with a cast of characters that finally, started playing together the last maybe 3-4 weeks of the season, you overcame a couple injuries and you kind of snuck in the back door, you're playing with house money, right? If you're a bubble team, a major bubble team, and you go to the NCAA tournament, Syracuse, and you end up, going in with zero expectations because you didn't win 30 games, during the regular season. You didn't win your conference title. You didn't win a conference tournament title. This is a different deal. Tampa Bay went in with all the accolades. They went in with all the advantages. And it's completely and utterly stunning how teams do a 180 from the regular season into the postseason. And again, like I said, I wish I could give you something if you're a Lightning fan, but I just can't do it. The most embarrassing, the most disappointing, and brutal loss in Stanley Cup playoff history, Tampa Bay getting swept by the Columbus Blue Jackets. I'm Mike Lindsley. It's 9 Minutes with me, IGTV, YouTube, and Facebook. Make sure you hit me on Twitter at Mike L Sports, and of course, Mike L Sports 1979 on Instagram, and of course, make sure you download and subscribe to my podcast all over Spotify, Google Podcasts, and Apple Podcasts. It's also available on the Podbean app, Stitcher, Tumblr, and YouTube. And make sure you get here, where I'm sitting, to Rosie's Corner. Pizza, wings, hot and cold subs. They've got the delicious salads in the fridge and a bunch of tasty beverages, including Crush Orange Soda, you name it. They do a bunch of awesome stuff on social media, too, so go follow them on Instagram. Like their Facebook page. You'll see all the pictures of the pizza and all the rest. They do themed foods, the Fish Friday and the chicken and biscuits and the pork and all that stuff. The menu now changing into the spring and summer, so be on the lookout for that. Get here to Rosie's Corner, the official pizza shop of the ML Sports Platter. Thanks for watching, and as I always tell you, enjoy the games.